When everyone's through, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, sign.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? The ayes have it. Oh, I lost my goes with it. Vouchers, purchase requisitions.
Expenses for the month of August totaled $92,737.22. Over half of that was payroll expenses.
What's cardio?
Cardio Partners was for the, I was going to touch on that under security, but that was for the water rescue mannequin that was purchased, and then also the CPR dummy for training purposes. And they worked well actually for the training. A little tricky to get it to sync, but we got it synced.
Took its innards out and
Yeah,
rebuilt them with chains.
With chain inside, you have to weight it down like they say a 10-pound brick. But Jack was looking at it and like, there's no way you're gonna fit a brick inside the cavity that they have, so we loaded it up with chain.
I make a motion to approve the expenses.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Commissioner's remarks.
Nothing today?
Park operations.
Okay, the Heritage Festival, in your folders, you'll see information on where we're at with food vendors. Missy has spent a lot of time over the past few weeks working on the festival. She recreated some promotional material that she put out on social media. And there's a list of crafters that she has. Quite a bit of crafters this year, I think more than we've ever had. Some are requesting 2 spots, others 1 spot. They are required to get their vending permit from Jim Thorpe Borough, which I believe is $30. We don't charge anything for the crafters since they have to purchase the vending permit. We just give them their space for free.
Question. Where's the county line?
Oh, I see.
Well, I think it's like down where the well house is, the main well.
So the vendors are in Jim
Yeah,
Thorpe.
they're in Jim Thorpe Borough. Food vendors, you have the Cub Scouts again. They'll be doing the peach cobblers. That's pretty popular every year. Another Cub Scout's going to do meat sticks, chili, baked potatoes. The Mock Junk Charity will be with us again. They always donate to a charitable cause. They sell soups and mac and cheese. Kettle Corn, Tommy Subs will be returning too again. He's added a few items because I believe he ran out of everything last year, other than I think he had pierogies left. The Sweet Pickins will be back with the sweet corn. But here's a list of the food vendors I can pass around. We did pick up 2 new ones. Faith Church out of Weatherly, they're doing halushki, nachos and cheese, sausage dippers, and then J-Rad's wood-fired pizza is also on doing. They're doing the personal pizzas, wood-fired, as well as Italian sausage sandwiches.
Sounds great.
I hadn't heard anything from Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau or JTTA promoting this.
On the festival?
Yeah, are they?
They should be.
Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah.
Again, we have our monthly meetings.
To get the word out.
Yeah, and I haven't, so I'll reach out
Maybe
to
it's-
PMVB.
And if not, it must have slipped through the cracks.
Yeah, and I may have missed it, but I'll check with them this afternoon just to make sure they're promoting it. Mostly because all the vendors you're having this year and stuff want to make sure they have a successful.
One thing I'd like to say, Dave, and I requested probably 3 years now, the Pocono Mountain Hit and Miss, their Antique Engine Club.
Blue
Can we
Mountain.
reach out to them and see if they'd be interested in that? Because they have some really neat stuff that I think would fit this.
I know Missy did. I mean, if you went after the meeting, talk to Missy, but I know she did reach out to them. And I don't know if the issue is with the amount of help that they have.
I think it was too late when I spoke to
This
them.
event is too small versus West End Fair, where they're attracting a lot more people. But yeah, we can talk to Missy after the meeting, to see exactly, and try to reach out to them.
I go to a few events where they are like Jacktown out by Bangor. They have a smaller event, and they're there, and
Yeah.
it's really a nice fit. They do make ice cream and anything that was done with old engines, hitting this engine, tractors. I think that would be nice.
Yeah.
Really
Mention,
cool.
I remember.
After the
mention,
meeting, we'll talk with Missy. And
Yeah,
I thought it was Blue Mountain or what is
Blue
it
Mountain Antique
Yeah, I thought
Engine
so.
Club. Or
Yeah, I
something.
thought I could swear she reached out to them.
Yeah.
Well, to think of the number 9
In
miles.
fact, the Heritage Festival when it first started was about promoting local history
Mhm.
and the local attractions.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, you had the number 9 mile museum there. You had the Somerville Historical Society,
All the historical
Mansion.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a variety of them there. And then over the years, you just slowly started to lose them.
Yeah, I think
Because
we should start getting them back.
Yeah, do we reach out to number 9 line again?
there's a new director there now.
Dale, Zach,
Dale,
but Dale
yeah.
Freudenberger
Dale
would
would
be
be
the
the point person
I
there.
think so.
They seem like they struggle with volunteers and help.
Right.
That's sort of losing them little by little over the years. But yeah,
Right.
get a lot of those
Yeah, no, they're going good.
organizations back.
Dale's good, and
Yeah.
all the all the historical Summit Hill.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's heritage, so we should really promote the heritage. Now with the trolleys coming through, can people get on and off?
If they want, I know the one individual did. Was it last year?
Yeah.
Or the year before? Last year, I think.
Yeah, that is set up to be on and off, but that's not what they use it for.
No.
They use it as tourism. What we
I
could
noticed
do
that.
next year, though, we could get Carbon Transit to run shuttles, just like we're going to use them in fall. Now, there's a cost to that, and that'll have to be considered in, But, you could run a shuttle from downtown Jim Thorpe and stuff like that to get people out here if you want to consider doing something like that.
So
Yeah.
why aren't people getting on and off?
I don't think they're stopping anymore.
I don't think that
Yeah, the way, it was originally promoted as on and off, but it just seems to evolve just simply into a tour.
Yeah.
It just,
But I mean, how many tours can you give before you run out of, I mean, I don't know. But there used to be a trolley stop at the Glen, and I see that's gone now.
I'm trying to think if they still go out there or not. I
They
thought
go
did.
out there, but
Yeah, but they just,
they had a sign trolley stop.
oh, now it's gone.
Now the sign's gone.
Oh,
Yeah, in the fall, I know, like when things slow down at the beach, he'll go down and
Yeah.
kind of make a pit stop. For people to get out, stretch their legs, take some pictures of the fall foliage. But other than that, no, it doesn't. It doesn't stop.
Well, you're talking about the trolley ride.
yeah.
He got into a lot of trouble down at the Glen. He got nailed for speeding in there.
Well, they do
And
speed.
there were other items that he
And
got.
so do the rafting lessons they pointed. They were. I was there last week, and there was a girl. Actually, I don't know if she was texting or was she taking a selfie of herself on a bicycle, and ran into the divider between the two bridges.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did she go for a good one?
Oh, that.
Wow.
I was sitting at the table there, and I ran over. She was all right, but
Oh my goodness.
yeah, she had her phone right in her face, and she
That's
was
what
go-
she would do.
and I believe it was an electric bike. So she had
Is moving.
a head of steam up, and
Yeah,
whammo right into that.
that's another
Like,
issue.
oh my god.
The electric bikes I ride, I'm doing 10 miles a day, but doing a lot on the canal, place for Jim Thorpe and the electric bike. There was a motorcycle one day. Came
An
up the
electric
canal.
one?
No, a real motorcycle
Oh.
came down the mountain. But the electric bikes, they go pretty fast.
Oh yeah, they
And
do.
they don't, they don't let you know if they're trying. Now I'm riding pretty fast, so a regular bike rarely catches me. But these folks, it's gonna be future consideration.
Well, we are working on a policy
Yeah.
for the DNL, for,
Has
and
to
probably using the federal speed limit for you, but that's still, when you're putting bikes, electric bikes and pedestrians
Right.
in what, a 12-foot width?
It's
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, they come by my house, and I'll be sitting there, zoom. Yeah. Wow.
The state parks have a policy already.
Yeah.
I think I have it on my door actually.
What is the speed
It's a
limit?
certain motor size and
Yeah,
speed
it
it's
is, yeah.
limited to, and I can't recall off the top of my head.
Yeah.
If you want to look at it after the meeting.
Well, a bike generally, if you're moving, you're going 10, 12 miles an
Yeah.
hour or more. By 16 max probably on a trail.
They are not. I was
But they're
actually
going
want to
double
get
that.
one.
Like you said though, they're not ringing the bells when they come back,
No.
right?
No, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And they don't care either. I think altruistically it was for people, who couldn't do the trails. Now
Yeah.
it's people who can't afford motorcycles and want to
Yeah.
take the dirt bike,
People with DUIs who can't drive.
Well, all that,
I want to get
you
one
just,
just to ride up
I'm in the
border.
parking lot every weekend,
Yeah.
and oh my gosh, it is nuts. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
For people that don't pedal either.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Well, some of them you have to pedal.
Yeah, some pedal
So they
assist,
get
right?
it.
They won't operate unless you pedal.
Yeah.
Then you can.
But you don't have to pedal much.
It gives you a plus or minus on the assist, but
Takes
some
the
of them
hills
need
out
the
of it.
pedal. Some of them don't. Some of them have a throttle.
Oh yeah, the ones up to 1,500, you probably have to pedal. $5,000 ones, the ones that override everything. What is the date of the heritage?
So it's September 16th. This is the promotional material that Missy came up with, along with the band schedule. I'll pass that around too as well. But yeah, she said Missy spent a lot of time on it. So hopefully the weather, cooperates.
Noted appreciation for Missy's good work.
Is that something Pocono Mountain said they would help us with, like trifold brochures or something?
That's what
like
Chris
that?
brought that up.
And they will, as long as we reach out to them. I mean, they have an entire graphics team. They'll help us with that stuff. You just have to reach out to them.
Because that was one of the things Blue Mountain had a question on, the brochures and the promotion of the event. They wanted to see.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing about PMVB is one, their ability to put the creative material together, but then their outreach to, the New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Maryland DMAs, the marketing areas, using their social media, the Pocono Television Network and that. They're always looking for opportunities. And when I talk to them today, I'll try to see if they can get some folks down here also doing some video footage and stuff to roll that into some of their reporting and highlight it.
Now, how about these Plant Fest events? Now, I see Lansford's losing it because of cellular service. The vendors can't use credit card machines because they have no phone connection. So they're looking for a venue for the Plant Fest, which is really a nice event.
Right.
And it's been growing, and really
Didn't they just do that?
In last
Yeah,
year.
just
They
happened.
just did
Yeah.
it twice this year.
Oh, they did. Fine.
Yeah, and it was well attended.
Yeah. Who runs it, Earl?
I'm not sure of the girl's name.
I think Winnie Brimmer is involved.
Yeah, there's a front page of the Times News, the article of whoever that is the lead on that. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would be open to hosting something like that.
that'd be a nice event for
That'd
the
be
park.
great.
Yeah. Any more on
No, that was all.
the Heritage Festival? How about the wheelchair? I didn't see it down there yet.
No, but it was. Missy talked to her the other day, so it was purchased. She raised enough funds to purchase the wheelchair. Right now, it's getting embroidered. With the I believe it was her mother, the memory of her mother on the back there, and put together, assembled. So one thing that I'm hearing anyway is that it might not fit in the first aid station.
I was gonna say
It
that
might be too, it's going to be too wide. So I did talk to Jack. There's like a pad below the flagpole in front of where the side of the women's bathrooms are, where we could maybe build like a little, maybe like a 3-bay type of
shelter
where you can put them in, secure them. You can keep the key in the first aid station, where the lifeguard could, unlock it if somebody wanted to use it. People would see it as they're coming in. Maybe put the wheelchair, emblem there on it. Kind of would promote itself. People would see it as they're coming into the beach area. Now she did have I guess when Missy was talking with her, she said, she would like to spread the word on Facebook about, us accepting donations, additional donations for more wheelchairs, and about making the checks, payable to the park, and have the checks come here, Parks and Recreation Fund. We can certainly do that. I don't have.
You gotta talk to the solicitor, because once we hit a certain amount of donations that come in, that's reportable to the IRS. I think it's actually $25,000 a year. It is the limit. We quote unquote, ran into that with the animal shelter. So it creates an administrative issue and stuff like that. I just run it by Bob. Yeah.
Okay. And then also how many donations are you actually going to get versus how many wheelchairs do we need? I know we talked about 2, possibly 3.
Yeah.
I think 3 maybe. Start with at the last meeting. She was going to donate one, and then we were going to match one, I believe, in the budget.
We were going to ask for one in the budget. Yeah.
And possibly start with 2, and or maybe go to a 3rd one.
Yeah. Why not wait to see what the demand is on 2?
Yeah. Before you
go to a 3rd.
Yeah.
How much are they?
I think they were like $1,400, somewhere around there. I don't have it in front of me, but from what I remember at the last meeting, they were about $1,400.
And they're basically PVC.
Yeah, that's from what I gather. Yeah, I didn't see it yet, but from the photos, the pictures, yeah.
I do know the sun makes that PVC brittle after so long.
Yes. But
You have to have it under a shelter.
so we want to hold off on promoting any further donations at this time until we get
That would be my recommendation.
until we see how the first 2 go,
Right. Yeah, 'cause you
and
never
then
know.
additionally, could be an issue that we would have to bring up with the solicitor.
I don't know if this falls under basically the same situation. Someone approached me about the bench at Boat Launch B, the one that's in the grassy area. They would like to donate a bench, but they were also wondering if we could have a parking spot, because you can't park there, next to the bench for handicapped people to sit on the bench.
I'm
Yeah,
not
the
sure
park,
where
the park in the lot and then walk up by the boats.
You know how you loop around the red road there?
No grass.
The Ring Road?
Yeah, Mooring Road.
They were asking if there could be a parking, and that's something I'd be willing to donate a parking spot.
Yeah,
The
it would just
material
need to
in
be,
there.
designated as a handicap or anybody be parking there.
Right, yeah, just for the bench, right now.
Well, then you won't have people parking there just for the bench, though. I mean, it might be intended for that, but you might,
It's
you
gonna-
might have
it's-
somebody.
it's
Once you put the handicap
you're
spot
gonna
up,
have people
yeah.
park there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be. You're not going to be able to reserve a parking space.
Can we break this
exclusively
down
for
to
a
the
bench.
individual, or, would it be easier to allow the individual request?
They're from Florida.
Okay, well, that's my point, is how often, and
They love to sit on that bench, but to walk from the parking lot to the bench is
But
kind of a challenge.
and I'm saying, I mean,
Which bench do they sit on?
That one kind of in the middle of the grassy
There's, I think,
There's
three.
one, yeah, there's one under
There's
the
a
tree.
covered one, and then
Yeah, the covered one.
Yeah. So they already donated a bench?
no, they would like they'd be open to donating
Because we didn't have any more like
spaces.
along that side
Mhm.
picked out. That
But that's
The
what I'm
ones-
saying, if they park there and it's their bench and our rangers come through, and that's, then it's okay. We use common sense and say, this so they're, all they have to do is get a little bit off the road so people can get around.
we were looking to put more on the other side, the parking lot side.
Yeah,
That
that
would-
would not
that
have
would
a
be- that would
request
be
where the
better.
bench would go, but they were looking for.
That's where we're looking to put. We're looking to put like 3 or 4 of them, maybe 3 more of them, or 4 more of them on the parking lot side. Going towards where we pick up the trail to the environmental center. That would be, think they'd be interested in donating on one there. And that would give us a continuous,
So you don't think that would work having a parking spot next to one of those benches?
I think it would be that people wouldn't adhere to the handicap,
They would just park there.
I'm saying.
Or they would park there and, they won't be using the bench.
I would say if somebody donated it and they're handicapped, we would give them VIP courtesy to park, on the grass.
The parking lot side, the benches are,
Right
they're right off the parking lot. Park maintenance, you have your reports in there. We did get the shoreline trail opened up between the camping area and Boat Launch B. There were several large down trees that they had up, and I believe that board's fixed.
On the boardwalk.
I think, yeah, I'll check with them. I'm pretty sure Jack fixed it. We wanted to get that done before we opened it up again.
Yeah, well, that was dangerous.
We did get the slide for the play equipment installed. Men's restroom, we had to shut down on September 2nd. It was later in the day, but a flush valve went. This happens. Every now and again, they have extra ones here, so it was fixed in the building. But the constant flush was affecting the women's side too, because there wasn't enough pressure to flush the toilets. So we were able to open up the women's side. But the men's side had to stay closed. We did get the swim ropes and buoys out. That was done yesterday and the day before. We did purchase new exhaust fans for the bathrooms at Boat Launch. And those we plan to install after the Heritage Festival next week. We'll be spending the whole week on getting ready for the festival. As well as the lights, I know that you had mentioned about the lights.
Yeah,
Boat launches, we did get bulbs. Missy picked some up, I believe, yesterday morning or early this morning. We do need to get a bucket truck to be able to. They have the lifts at the prison, but those are meant for solid floors inside of a building, not outside.
No, you can't operate them
See,
on.
Jim, across the bridge in that parking lot there, they
Yeah, scoop linen,
Yeah.
as all.
So, again, we're going to plan on renting a bucket truck again. The lights, I think both boat launches actually.
That'd be great.
Fixed
It's
up.
getting.
Maybe there's some other things we can use it for, because I'm sure you got to rent it for the day. Is there any other projects like?
Yeah, there's certainly they can go through the campgrounds and any dead branches, cut dead branches, and we talk about if we had a bucket truck, that's what we would do with it every year. So to get more use out of it while we have it, that's what I would suggest, and I'm sure that's what Jack would suggest also.
If you don't need it 80% of the time, it's better to rent
Just
it.
rent it, yeah.
But maybe they can compile a list of little projects that need clean the gutters out on these buildings and stuff.
We did get our new maintenance vehicle that arrived yesterday. That was with the plow setup and spreader. And then there's just some other odds and ends there. One of our full-time employees is scheduled to return September 11th, Monday. So again, that covered bench down there kind of was on, has been on hold. So we'll get on that after the Heritage Festival is over, and when we get one of our full-time workers back.
Dave, we should have a recap. Are you finished with
Mhm.
maintenance? We should have a recap, in the summer, rangers and lifeguards, and follow up with them in terms of whatever we want to do to communicate with them, be it thank you or be it sign up for next year, while the iron's hot.
Right.
So overall, I was through almost every day just to just check in and enjoy the part myself. But the Rangers all seem to be happy this year, and the gate and everywhere, and the lifeguards. How do we do overall?
I think from what I understand, and I know one of the fathers reached out to me that she enjoyed. It was just the other day actually. She's from Weatherly. She enjoyed the people she worked with, and she enjoyed what she did, and she intends on returning next season. And I believe the others too as well. I have
A really strong review. I spoke to all of them throughout, and mostly at the end there. And Rick, I do send out a handwritten thank you note and inviting them back the next year. Like I just asked Missy, to all the seasonals, the lifeguards, the rangers, and the maintenance guys trying to. But again, that's going to have to be followed up on, and that's you got to show your appreciation and in that way that you suggest.
Yeah, it would be nice to see a report card, on that thing, and like factual, like what was the percentage of weekends that we had full coverage on the beach, so we have a tangible and saying, where were the gaps,
Yeah.
that we could focus on next year, so we're not reinventing the wheel.
So
Because it was so hard for us. That was our main concern going
Yeah.
into the summer is
Yeah.
let's keep them.
So Missy will be giving me the numbers on Wednesday for the number of days we didn't have coverage, because I look at those each year. And again, that was the big push for the lifeguard pay increases to reduce the 29 days, hoping to at least cut it in half this year. And now we do have the 2 days of the water quality and stuff like that, but that'll be a set aside. So we look at all those numbers. Plus, we'll get the final report for admission fees also by next week, as long as the money's been pushed down town already. We'll have accurate numbers for that also. And at least I've been looking at them. And again, normally I do come back and share them with you all, but I don't know. Again,
Well, I'd like them put in the minutes for the next meeting. That'd be great.
But revenue-wise, we brought in about
Or on the agenda, not minutes.
Yeah.
175,000 admission fees, and in the security report, we'll go over that during the days that we had to actually close, especially particularly towards the end of the season. There, we want to have them lifeguards.
Back 100 years ago, I should bring them in, and they're always involved. We would recognize Earl and his work and everything. But we actually, I had little medals made up, which were recognition. And what people do for tchotchkes, Napoleon found out that men would die for ribbons. But we gave out, little, and they were appreciation talismans or whatever. And they were nice. But we got press on that, so they got recognition and the like. Recognition goes a long way, for lifeguards and seasonal people.
I agree. Even something like, piece of paper in a frame,
Exactly.
you
Yeah,
for,
just
inexpensive and something they can hang on the wall.
or if we made something up that is like an appreciation hat or whatever, that when probably be the best thing, but, you know, like, I'd want to call everything on this circulation director, that, but something that's a memento from us. It's worth thinking about. I'll give that some thought, unless you can think of anything off the top.
You know, like I said, you know, we go down and thank them at the end of the season. You know, you pop in, and as far as I know, as of right now, yeah, I mean, everybody, you know, plans on returning next season. Now, a lot could change between now and then. You know, with them at school, and you know, a lot of them need to do internships anymore, and you know, so you know, we'll see. But as far as I know, everybody plans on returning.
I mean, just a simple, something tangible, you know, going and saying, you know, attaboy, but as Earl said, if we just draft up a letter from the board as well, Chris says the commissioners covered, but if we do that, we all sign it for I mean, I would go for that. That's the simplest thing. If Missy
Send a letter.
did a thing, and then next meeting we all sign it, and we'll put our names down for all of that, and we sign them for appreciation.
Sure.
Because I know I go through. I don't know if everybody goes through, but you know, Chris talks to them, but I talk to them as well. You know, all the time, and I just don't want to be void. You know, and you know, follow up. So.
Rick, how about you draft something up like that? And
I'll do
we'll
that.
get a frame and an inexpensive frame and send them out.
So you'll draft it, or Missy's
I'll
draft
do
it?
it.
You'll do it. Okay.
Missy has a lot going on.
Yeah,
I don't want
right.
to micromanage Missy, but I'll do since Earl put it forward.
All right.
Under security, we had we did have that live training, rescue, and recovery exercise on the 14th from 6 to 8, which went well. A lot of the agencies that we cooperate with participated. Jim Thorpe Fire Department, Jim Thorpe Police Department, the Iron Water Rescue was there, and we did talk about the mannequin that we acquired for the training. Lifeguards, Rangers participated.
Did someone Hill have someone?
No, Summit Hill didn't respond, basically because it was on the Jim Thorpe, you know, it was the Jim Thorpe side. I don't know if did we reach out to Summit Hill though? Did Mark reach out to Summit Hill? Did he? Yeah. I'm not 100% sure if
Life Flight was also. We had
Life
the
Flight.
helicopter come in.
which I was surprised they actually, they came in and landed.
I'll work with Missy on that. So.
Thank you, Rick.
The Heighton ambulance was called to the beach on September 2nd at the play equipment. Right after we put the new slide in, probably a couple of days later, 10-year-old boy was on the play equipment. It was 8:30 in the morning is when I got the report when I was going through the campgrounds. But anyway, he was on the top step of the spiral stairs and decided to jump off, and pretty high, for a 10-year-old. So he wound up with a leg injury, broke his leg in
Broke his
places. Yeah.
Wow.
So we did have to get the ambulance in that morning on September 2nd. Also on September 2nd, the Rangers had to respond to a swimming violation reported by the boat rental. They had rented a paddle boat. We're over on the other side of the lake, fooling around, jumping off the paddle boat. So they responded to that and issued citations for that too as well. Lifeguards, we did have Owen Searfoss, one of our lifeguards, responded and assisted 2 children in the west section. That was on August 26th. Girl got out a little bit, I think, too far, kind of was on her toes and, yelled for help to a boy that she was friends with. They were there together as a group. He went to help her. I wound up being
Two of them.
same situation. Stuck the rescue tube out, to the boy, and got the girl, and brought him into, to shallow water. We did have an alcohol and noise disturbance the night of August 19th, and Summer Hill Police Department was dispatched twice that night, to come in. Park Rangers, we evicted them in the morning, issued citations. We did deal with some complaints in the morning. First that we had something of this magnitude, all season, quite frankly, in a long time. But every now and again, sometimes you can pick them out when they check in. Other times, they're kind of flying under the radar, they're quiet, alcohol, and
Yeah. Well,
they start
saw
to
people-
ramp up, and then once it gets to that point,
yeah.
you kind of like you gotta deal with it. You're stuck with it because you can't throw them out on the road at that point. So you just try to get them to hey, quiet down. It's time to retire for the night. Explain to them in the morning you need to be out of here by 10 o'clock. So
Yeah, I saw a lot. I've been spending time. Everybody drives too fast through the camping area. But I've seen them carrying tents to group up in sites, so they might come in groups of 3, and then they all carry their tents to one site to party. And they set up, the canopies, and then they set it almost looks like a block party, with the food and stuff and the music. Most of it's within reason, but down in the beachfront, down in the lakefront ones, the cars there that they bring in is just crazy on the main strip. There's just so many cars with the camping. So it's something I think that we really have to look at into next year, what we can do to kind of prevent the things from. Really, it should be a pristine experience for people who want to camp.
mm-hmm.
And I've talked to a lot of campers, and they said, it was all fine until they started playing. It's an encroachment on people who are coming for a quiet, experience. Or at least, you can adhere the 10 o'clock thing, but up to 10 o'clock if there's, dancing and chanting and things. And there's cultural things coming in that really, impact people as well. I respect all that, but we really should have conversation about that going into next year, what we can do to regulate it. Fees is one thing that always worked for us for out of county. That's one thing that's a buffer, on it. It's just going to get more and more popular, so we have to be more and more preservative of peace, I think. Feedback from anybody? I've just spent a lot of time in there purposely this year to see it. I just saw a lot.
I know we spoke a little bit about weekends like the Heritage Fest having a quiet section, because people do stay up late and they're
Right.
playing music, and some people want to go to bed early at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and if we can make them aware of, we try to, I know, but I always thought out in the far end would be a quiet section for
Well, that's a good point, going all the way through, and looking at the sites and the areas and saying, with missy scheduling or whatever, you kind of could say, what's your intent,
Could be a noisy weekend,
Yeah, but I like that idea in terms of.
Yeah, I don't want to make it. This was one isolated incident that we had. Other than this one incident, the whole season really, from what I saw,
Yeah.
Bernie and the other Rangers.
I'm specifically referring to Heritage Week.
But
Yeah.
I saw a lot of what I saw a lot of out there this year was families, a lot of families, and a lot of young kids. You know, I don't know that I saw that many younger children, you know, camping this year compared with other years, but a lot of kids, a lot of families, and these knuckleheads here, they were here for one reason and one reason only, and it was to, well, I think it was the one person's 21st birthday. So, you know, unfortunately, every once in a long while, you get that sort of thing where they're not here, you know, to camp. You know, they're not here on vacation. They're not here as a family. They're here to party. Then it's unfortunate. You know, what you do to prevent that, I don't know that you could ever, you know, prevent it. You try to do what you can to cut down on it. So, and I think they did a good job of that. We didn't get many complaints at all this year on noise. And sometimes when you get them, they're unfounded. You know, maybe they don't like their neighbor for whatever reason. And we had one of them recently.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're all isolated
Yeah.
incidents. I get that, but down at the far end seems to be more of the quiet zone,
Area.
just naturally, and you know the beachfront, and up closer to us, it seems to be wilder than, or more celebratory, I would say, or more families and whatever. But the far end, you know, is kind of quieter just by nature.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And
Missy
like,
takes that. I'm sure she takes it into consideration.
For the festival, you know, it's tough to have any quiet area out there, to be honest with you, because of the way the noise track, you know, it carries.
Depending how the wind's blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
I
control
mean,
it.
usually the same crew is always, you know, it's the same. They get the same cabins and the same campsites every year that, you know, are a little bit noisier later into the evening.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
As I mentioned, the swimming area, we were closed August 21st. That day we closed at 3. One of the lifeguards was on. She was scheduled till 5, but had a change in her practice. If I would have known that 3 o'clock was it, I probably wouldn't have charged admission that day. But we were charging admission, and then we wound up. We stopped charging about 2 o'clock because we were closing the swimming area at 3. And it worked out. August 22nd, we were closed due to not having enough lifeguards. And then the 28th, August 28th, that last week, everybody was gone back to school to September 1st. We did have one lifeguard down there at the first aid station just in case somebody needed first aid or if there was an emergency, because we didn't chase people off the beach. You know, the beach area was open, but we didn't promote swimming. And then we were, the other days that we were closed was the 2 days for the bacteria. We lost a day because of the smoke from the Canadian wildfires. And then there was also 2 days, the 16th and 17th, I believe, July, due to the storm that hit. So we fared out a lot better this year than what we did last year. And this year, I get you those dates.
Yeah.
And from a revenue standpoint, it was roughly $175,000 is what we took in on admission fees.
Do you recall what we did in 22?
It was, I think I have in there, it'll give you a good idea. You should have a report
I should have pulled it inside you.
on where we stand the previous year. It should look like this. This is at the end of August. $26,252 more this year compared with
Last year,
Yeah.
same time, more or less.
yeah.
Well, that's pretty good, but again, obviously our lifeguard costs
went up.
went up. And I know, Dave, you and I talked about how we regulate that a little bit better next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a good sign, though.
I'm saying the same thing with the camping. It's I'm just always on the preventive end. you know, this was a fine year, but I guess being prevented for next year, what we can do to be ahead of our aircraft.
And that doesn't include Labor Day weekend, which Labor Day weekend was probably the best Labor Day weekend that I can remember. I don't ever remember having a, you know, even a Labor Day, you know, like that. I think the one day we did 6,000 something on the. Actually, it might have been 7,000 something on the booth. It might have been Sunday, but you know, overall we finished strong with a really good Labor Day weekend. That's all for the security report. I know Bernie did have to shut down for about an hour on August 20th, with the exception of our season pass holders, campers, and.
Did you mention the fireworks concern we just
Oh,
got?
I did not.
Yeah, that's what we can.
I guess it was reported that there's fireworks in the park. You know, if that's the way I read it, it sounds to me like the individual believes that campers or whomever is setting fireworks off.
They
in the
were.
park, but
I was in there. One was like an M80 off with the one, but it was just a short period of time.
yeah,
And it was, you know where it was by? It was by the rentals, you know, by the rental pavilions, you know,
okay.
right on the borderline between picnic and camping.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
When
these
was
were.
that, Rick?
That was a couple weekends ago.
Labor Day weekend?
No, it wasn't on. Oh no, it wasn't on any celebratory day. This was the day that this group of people were moving tents and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was a short window, probably about 45 minutes.
This I think is referring to something that's been ongoing.
Yeah, so it
Oh.
sounds, that's what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
not,
from
this
his
isn't,
letter.
isn't like an isolated
Yeah, this one
like,
was
situation
isolated.
where because we don't allow fireworks in the park. We have it in our ordinance, and I'm not sure if this individual knows of that or not, but you know,
No pun intended, right?
yeah,
Right.
they're not allowed in the. And we do tell people when we take reservations. I know I hear Missy and Mallory. You know, no pets, no alcohol. Some of them touch on the fireworks. You know, particularly around the holiday weekend. If the Rangers know about it, you know, we'll address it if we can, you know, find out who the individual is. But there's an individual that lives down from the night entrance on the other side of Lentz Trail. That's where the fireworks are coming from, and they're loud.
I hear them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't know how much one of them costs, but
I hear
they're
them.
probably very expensive.
I know.
The individual, I'm sure the people that live right next to them can hear them also. If you hear them, 'cause you,
Oh, I hear them good.
yeah. I know one of our rangers was driving down the Lentz Trail. This goes back towards maybe the middle of the summer, maybe late June, early July, maybe around the 4th of July. And he just saw right. He was going toward Boat Launch B, saw a huge flash, and boom. Now I know that some of the police have been there on a couple of occasions. So, from my understanding, I guess he doesn't have anything that's illegal, you know. And it would be, I guess, a borough issue as far as a noise ordinance, you know, depending on what time he's setting them off. So, they're not coming from within the park; they're coming from a private residence on the other side of that trail. You have anything to add to that, Chris?
No.
Now that you brought up the revenues, how come camping? Unless I'm not reading this right.
Cabin and
the
camping
cabin,
rooms?
yeah, how come
Yeah,
they're
they're down.
That shocked me.
We'll see what happens at the end of the year if we, gain some ground. But their cabin rentals are down 6,200, and camping rentals were down 2,200 at the end of August. Everything else is virtually up.
Yeah, no,
Other
I'm
than
just curious
taxes.
why that is.
That's significant on the cabins.
Yeah. Is it who would normally rents the cabins? Are they mostly out of area? Or
A lot of non-county.
Yeah.
You get a lot of county too, but
I'm going to challenge that. The data I looked showed more in county from
cabins.
from cabins. From at least that would have been 21 and 22.
Yeah.
I think is the data I looked at. guys received a copy of that. I'm pretty sure I'll recheck, but something just, I don't know about this year, but I thought in the past it tended to be
More county
county folks.
for cabin rentals.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll pull that data up just to confirm. I don't want to challenge on it if I'm wrong, but that was one that kind of surprised me. I just thought carbon people don't like sleeping on the ground is what I assessed, but I'll recheck that.
Yeah, that's curious. Is maybe price or something, I don't know, compared to sleeping on the ground.
That was all I had for security.
Alrighty. Special activity request.
Wildlands Conservancy, this was sent down to the commissioners pending Parks and Recreation Commission and Fish and Boat Commission approval. They approved it pending approval of Fish and Boat Commission and ourselves. But it's for a Panther Valley field trip on September 11th, 12th, and 13th, which is this upcoming Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Bringing in 7th and 8th graders from Panther Valley. Wildlands Conservancy's doing this. Carbon County Environmental Education Center's helping out. They're going to have different stations. One's bike riding, one's canoeing. They're going to do like a stream study.
That's great.
Yeah, so they're going to have different stations and move them around. So that was September 11th.
Do we need an approval on that?
Yeah, just
I'll make a motion.
yeah, second, we'll put it in the minutes.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? All opposed?
And then we have the walk to end
Ayes
Alzheimer's.
have it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you
That's
go-
all right.
The walk to end Alzheimer's, that's September 23rd. We're doing it a little bit earlier this year, which works out well because we have the fall foliage marking going on. They've been doing this, for years. They'll start at the Comfortable on the Pavilion, and then they walk down the Flagstaff Road. Some of them, others will cut it short and turn back. But that's basically the route. They do have. They don't need Fish and Boat Commission approval. They do need to provide us with an updated certificate of insurance. So if you wanted to approve it pending receipt of updated insurance.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded on approval of insurance. All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it.
And then we have under correspondence, Nescahoning Recreation Center. They're seeking a donation for their basket raffle, which is on September 15th, 16th, and 17th.
What do we?
Season pass.
Next 2020, next year's season.
Yeah,
pass.
24.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Everybody done?
So moved.
Yeah, well, when we look at those forwards too, Earl, whenever maybe in October sometime,
Refresh my
the
memory.
book for the switchback trail.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Looking at like a couple areas where we might be able to, I don't know if it's gonna prevent,